And this is 1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy TV. And I'm going to do the radio part of the whole deal. Now, I am not using just a regular CB. This is marketed and classified as a 10-meter amateur radio. Damn, I just sprayed some fucking fleet stuff for the dog and choking me up. Anyway. See, a lot of these, I personally like the high-end 10-meter radios, and, damn, that flea spray is fucking strong, because they're easy to modify. Like, for instance, this one, it only did like 10 and 12 meters, which is ham stuff. It just didn't do 11, which is the CB. And to open up the frequency range, you just got to modify it, which is basically on this one is pulling a resistor off of the board. Some radios, all it needs is like a little jumper wire. Like I got a Anytone 6666 for the vehicle, and it's a 10 meter. And I don't have, the only mod I have to do to it is when you turn it on, you know, there's certain thing you can do to, it's got a list where you don't even have to do anything like modifying to the board or any soldering, nothing. It's all software shit. So it's actually a lot easier. I don't even have to crack open the case of the radio. But this one now, it's a high power HP. It's a SR955 Striker HP. Means high power, which, you know, I can probably get, if I crank it up. Now I can probably, with the finals, because I got new finals in it. But if I crank it up, I can probably get about close to 80, 90 watts, you know, peak out of this thing when I key up. But I don't really, I've got it, you know, scaled back about 80%. So it doesn't work all the finals too hard. And I don't have that going through an amplifier. So I'm just using whatever power and modulation out of the radio, the wattage and stuff out of the radio, and I'm not, you know, there's a lot of people out there that's got a amplifier in line, you know, like they'll have this, the amp and meter, and then out to the antenna. Right now I just got this through the meter out to the antenna. This is my meter, and you know, it generally does what it needs to do, and you can use generally anything. It depends on how much wattage you're pushing out. You don't want to push more than the meter is capable of doing, but this is so you can get your SWRs right. You need a meter at least, because I wouldn't trust, personally, no matter what radio you got, I wouldn't trust the meter that's on the radio. If they say, if it says that you can, you know, check your SWRs, I wouldn't trust it. I would actually, I would, if I could, I would go by both of them. I would see what this says and what this says, and kind of average them out and see where you're at, and blah blah blah. But you know, when you're doing your SWRs, you got a setting. Like on mine, I got it on watts right now. That shows how much watts I'm putting down or whatever. Now you put it down, click it down on the SWR set, and key up. And you do this on AM. You can't do this on sideband. You have to do it on AM. And you know, because, you know, you got like a lot of radios now. General CB will just have AM. They won't have anything else. But then you might get some radios that have, you know, FM, AM, sideband, which is upper and lower sideband. But anyway, that's a whole nother video, I guess. But anyway, that's a little bit more technical instead of the basics. And when it comes down to SWRs, you get your SWR and you key up. And when you key up on AM, you might want to have your dead key. That's another thing too. I'm not sure how to explain that right offhand, but when you key up and you don't say anything, you just sit there quiet and you key up. Like for instance, let me see here. Let me go somewhere. Let me go to my channel. Go to AM. All right. I want to go to set. All right. Now you see how it stopped right about there. Well, right about there, actually, that just means my SWRs are really low. But to get set, you go all the way over to this little set mark. All right, when you key up. All right. And if it doesn't go in as high as that, because I got this little thing and I've got that as high as it'll go, and it won't get there. So that means this my SWRs are really low. But you get it at that set mark, and then you put it on SWR, key up. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this on 20 watts. Let me see here. Let me try that again. It's the same. But anyway, put that on SWR. Look at that. I key up. It don't even move the needle. Audio, audio, audio. Audio, audio. Yeah, they don't even. My SWRs are so low on that channel. So I don't even move the needle. But anyway, audio. Audio, audio, audio. All right. Audio. See, that's saying on AM, I'm getting about 50 or 60 watts. Audio. Now, see, on the radio it says I'm getting about 60. Audio. Yeah, just over 50. Because the 5, that would be 50. And, so up to 10, that'd be 100 watts. This is 50 watts. So that's the scale I'm on. The 200 watt scale. But anyway, that's what you want to do. You want to get your SWRs down the lowest you can get them. And the lowest will be about 1, 1.5, 2. That's about as far as you want to go. If you get any higher than a 2, you need to do something like, for instance, I think if it's the way to check it is you go to channel 40 and then you go to channel 1. Like channel 40, you check the SWRs on 40, check the SWRs on 1. Now if the SWRs are higher on 40, I think, now I might be mistaken now, I hope if any of y'all know what I'm talking about, and I'm wrong, tell me, comment. But if you're higher on SWRs on 40, that means I think that what is it? Too short. I think the antenna is too short. That means that you probably need to add some more longer coax coming from the radio and all the way up to the antenna, something a little longer. Or if it's higher on channel 1 than it is on 40, it means it's, I think, too long. That means you need to shorten, like for instance the coax itself, because on a general sense, if you're using, like for instance, that steel whip, you can't really adjust the length of the antenna. That's fixed. So the only thing you can adjust is the length of the coax coming from the antenna to the radio and all that. Or like if you have a jumper going from the like a jumper going from the radio to the meter and then out to the antenna. Now you could probably lengthen that jumper, I personally would use more than 3 foot. I would use probably a 6 foot or a little longer, you know, do it in 3 foot increments, but I would do about a 6 foot or longer coax jumper between each component. Like for instance, the meter, between the meter and the radio, or if you got an amp, between the amp, the meter, and all that stuff, all that. I think about more than 3 foot is best, in my opinion. What works for me, you know. And I actually, between here and there, I've got a really long piece, and I've got it wrapped up as a almost like kind of like a bulb. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is and then I got a microphone. I got this old D104 desk mic hooked up to this radio at the moment, and it's amplified, so I get a little bit more kick into that thing, you know, versus the mic gain on that. I got a microphone gain on this, so I can keep that wide open almost, and then just barely crack this open, and yeah, I get some punchier type audio. And yeah, that's kind of the idea. But I don't know if this will help. I'll you guys leave comments or whatever you think that I could add, or if there's another video we can add to this. Now I'm just spitballing all this stuff, so this is just basic stuff, and this is what's working for me. 1122 Wingnut Radio, back out.